Hi, welcome back to my new channel. This is my first video of actually doing an actual makeup involved video. The last few I've done already were either performance videos or overanalyzing podcast episodes. Quarantine time, so I have nothing but time to work on new content for no reason. So kicking off this new channel, ironically I'm not doing a drag queen makeup, I'm doing a drag king inspired makeup because I recently did a look for just for Instagram the other night a couple weeks ago where I did I was just doing a drag king inspired makeup and then I ended up changing it into kind of like a gender flipped Harley Quinn look, so I figured maybe I should just recreate it here just to kind of re-brush up on things I've never really talked about as far as an overall process of how I do my makeup anyway. I haven't done a video in a long time, so it doesn't really matter what products you use, to be honest. I don't really have a preference as long as it works. I just happen to be fortunate enough to have gifts given to me that are of good quality, but I don't think that you have to have these exact products to make it work, because you'll see that I mix them and I mash them and everything, so I'm not very clean, I'm not very organized, but you know, it comes together at the end. So the first thing, even though I'm doing a boy look, I'm doing eyebrow cover. So I'm just going to use this Elmer's glue, the regular Elmer's glue, it's a purple one. But before I do that, I'm going to take some alcohol. This is just a little pump thing from Daiso. You can use medical alcohol pads if you want, but I just like getting just enough alcohol on there as I need to clean off the oil of my eyebrows. And this just gets off the grease of your face and stuff, so the glue sticks to it better. I almost never skip this step unless I forget, but I rarely forget to do this. I don't really go much higher than my natural brow, but I feel like I just have to be, in the mode, so that involves covering my eyebrows, and I don't really go high or thin. I just have to be completely blank to start. And also, if you're going to glue down your sideburns, you would also do this and do that, but look, I kind of need those, so I left them there. Like I said, we're going to do the glue stick. If you've seen one eyebrow cover video, you've seen most of them, so it's the same thing. I just go pretty roughly against my hair. I kind of go rougher than you probably should, but I'm not really that worried about my eyebrows. Ideally, you want to trim yours if they're a little long. Mine are kind of long right now, but again, I'm probably just going to end up bushing them up even more because it's going to be a more masculine look, so this is just my way. I take a cheap old comb. I think I got this from Walgreens actually. I've had like 12 or something. It's really old and ugly. And I just go up so you can really see how high my brows are growing. I just like to brush them up first just so I can see they're all going the same direction, and then I can direct them from there. So now that it's up, I tended to make this kind of go more out. And I use the back of the comb just to flatten it. You can use a spoon, or I can use the back of a makeup brush too. Anything that's kind of smooth and plastic can really just kind of glaze over without really pulling up the glue as much. Over it with the brow with glue, it just kind of solidify that first and second layer. So I'm just using Coty Airspun powder, traditional makeup sponge. Sometimes I feel like the back is easier to use. I usually start with the outer corner, but now I start with the inner one. I'm not sure why. And I always put more powder than I think I need, because if I don't have enough, it'll stick to the glue and then the glue will be pulled up, so it would defeat the purpose. And just push that in really hard. For some reason on my right brow, I always have 3 or 4 little hairs sticking out just out of my face, and I've just come to terms with it, because once you're far away, you don't see it. And especially with this kind of look, it's a lot more grungy. It's not perfect, so I don't even worry about looking pretty. Just to get things going, I'm going with my foundation. I use Juvia's Place Capri 630. That's not my shade, that's what I bought. And again, since I'm not doing beard cover, stubble shows through, then I'm just gonna add to the effect. And I kind of realized that doing this part is kind of not necessary for the Harley Quinn look, because I go with the white anyway at the end to make myself look intentionally pale and kind of pasty looking. But again, it's by habit. So if I wasn't doing a look like that, I would be doing this anyway. I'd probably use a lot more than next time you did now that I think about it. Well, do I look super yellow right now?
Not super yellow, but you look ivory.
I don't know why I do this, I just started doing it. So I take the glue stick And then I take my comb and then I brush over it so there's a little indentation on it. And then I brush it this way and I brush it against it. So cross hatching, and then if you want one more, well, you get the gist. So there's like little ridges of glue. And again, I'm not really sure why I do this. I just started doing it like a couple years ago and I just kept with it. And I gently go against all that work I just put in, like very gently tapping, kind of in the gaps that I might have missed going this way. And then kind of smoothing the edge back down and then going over it in the same direction. If I'm drinking something, because I don't usually have like a cup of water handy, I usually just use the condensation of my cup and get the water on. Or if I'm not, I'll just lick my finger or lick the glue stick. A lot of people lick their glue stick. It's not like it's a secret. Plenty of people do it. I'll just do it now. I think like the sliminess of the spit kind of just makes it slide over more. So I'll set that one the same way I did it this way. And then let that set, and then do the same to the other one. I'm just kind of filling in my big-ass forehead right now. And I'm trying to remember what actually I did, because I did it on a whim. I wasn't planning on doing it that night that I first did it, so I don't really know the process I did it in. Okay, so now we're blank. It's hard, because then my mind wants to go feminine. So I'm going to use my contour foundation. This is Ben Nye foundation. I'm just going to do some guidelines first. And then rather than doing like a curve up for a girl, I would usually do, I'm doing it kind of like opposite, almost sunken in. But it's more of just like bringing out the squareness of my face, really. Oops, see, I already did it. And then like, instead of feminizing my jawline, you would just kind of bring it out. I'm using a clown white highlighter just to kind of erase my mistake. So I'm basically just going to highlight my whole entire actual jawline, well, where it used to be anyway. In kind of a really square, sharp way. Most of something covered up with facial hair anyway, so it's just kind of, again, a guideline. I do like the idea of having a really sharp jawline at least. Anyway, or I can see my jaw where my double chin goes. And then I'm going to follow my natural temple. Basically what this goes is like where my bone is, on my skull. Follow that to where my receding hairline's going. And it's going all the way up there. And then blend it down. And same thing on the side. So basically where like my natural eyebrow arch is, just go up. And I'm gonna look like Megamind right now, but I kind of make my forehead look a little smaller. So I go like in a square rather than making it round for a feminine face. I'm making it more square for a masculine face. Queen, like the cut cheek of the drag queen is like the cut forehead temple of a drag king, and like it's very distinctive. And I'm not sure why, but I guess men just have very pronounced skull bones. So I start off kind of making like devil horns, white devil horns, and then I just kind of blend it out. And now I'm just going in highlighting again, just guessing. I like to kind of give myself a butt chin. Just, my mind's like, that's masculine because it just reminds me of like a really pronounced chin. But, I don't know. I'll bring highlight in here a little bit, just so it's not so flat. I'm just contouring the bottom of my lip just so my lips look fuller, because why not? And then when I contour the edges of my nose, make it a little bit more wider than you would usually, but I end up just making it look the same as I always do. So just kind of lower down, like where the side of my nose actually is. It always feels funny because it feels like not correct to do. I like to start shaping my eye socket, my lid. Highlight my nostrils, why not? So now I'm just going to powder it all down, just so I got the base there. That should be enough. Nice brush off. And I'm going to go in and just kind of redefine the contouring with powders. So I'm using a Morphe palette, and then I'm just going to go in with just a bunch of different shades just mixed together. I like to go in between warm shades and then kind of neutral shades. Warm but also shadow effects. So I'm going to start with like a neutral color first, just to see how I want it to go. I'm using a paintbrush I stole from Shaun. Just like this because it's like very angular and long, and it's just like a soft bristle brush. I'm taking a white powder from the same palette. Okay, that's just like the general soft outline. It'll get harsher and more grittier and grungier as I go on. I just like to do my eyes. This is where it gets like more interesting in my opinion. So I'll start off with my brows just so I can kind of have a shape, shape going on. So I'm going to go in with my contour foundation, the brown, and kind of start off like kind of how I would usually do a drag brow and just make it a little bit thicker and stubbier. So my eyelid's going to be, let's do it going. And my brush has like a little bit leftover eyeliner in it, which I am not mad at. From House Laboratories, Lady Gaga's makeup line. This is Punk. I'm going with a dark brown eyeshadow, fade out some of those harsher lines, and it kind of fills in the gaps of the sparse areas, and that's that. Okay, so now I have both eyebrows done. I'm going to go in and start doing the eye. Again, this was kind of like a really messy look, so I don't really have any like specifics. I just remember how I went into it doing a certain look I wanted, it didn't come out right, so I'm going to try to do the look I was attempting to do the first time. So this is like a black eyeshadow in the inner corner. So basically it's just like a really sunken in inner corner eye. Just all in black. Swooped out into the crease area. I'm just gonna add a little bit of like a brown in my inner corner area along my nose. I did like a winged liner in the outer corner of my eye. With some black eyeshadow, just make sure it doesn't transfer. It will transfer anyway, but gel eyeliner in the waterline. And I'm just going to smudge that along the lash line too. Okay, so I honestly forgot the order of what I did after this because it's kind of just a fever dream. I'm going to add some little like random details to my face again. And then I'll go back to eyes. So I'm going to take some like brown colors that I used to contour with. I added like a random little dimple on my brow. I guess because I was want to look angry all the time. Alright, so now I'm going to add the color. I'm pretty sure that the Harley Quinn colors are blue and red, I think. So I just take a red eyeshadow and then I just smudge it all over. And I kind of go down. I always like to do like downward like tear shapes, but they end up being kind of like clown shapes. So from the center of your eye, just go drag down. So it looks like I'm kind of dripping down. And fade that in. And then do the same up. So go center of the eye and go up. I'm adding pink along like the edges. I like to do like pure red, but technically it's more like a pinky red for her. I'm just going to redefine in like the eye crease area. I'm going to go in after with this black eyeliner again. And then I'm going to take blue and do the same thing. And then you go in with that darker blue. Oh, I keep wanting to go back and forth, I can't. And then just because it's just distracting me, I'm just going to do mascara just because it's bothering me. Remember, I'm looking like sketchy, painterly lines, just in there, kind of randomly, kind of redefine the eyelid.
Okay.
And I'm just taking my white again, and then a stiffening brush. I'm not like I'm gonna kind of, and then just dab in my white, randomly, just kind of dab it. focusing a lot on like the highlight areas. Make it look like I'm putting on makeup over makeup. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. They look like the character put on makeup, not myself. So we just got back from eating dinner. Our camera was low battery before, and then I figured like just let it charge for a while, so I was like, I'll cook dinner. And then we came back, and then the camera memory card was full, so now I switched to the camera memory card, so now it's back to where we were. So I did a few things in between. I just like darkened some stuff, added more color. I just went over with white. I raised my eyebrows so all the wrinkles start. I made all the wrinkles out of my face to get the color kind of dispersed organically. And then now we're gonna go into like the lip area. This part I kind of forgot how I did that too. I added some like depth to the edges of my lips, just with some like dark browns. I'll go in with like a base color. This is just a sugar coat. Crumpet. I'm not going all the way, I'm just going kind of to put the color on first. This is like some more nudie color first. And then I'm going to go on with the full on white, just to kind of make my upper lip look a little bit more full. And then highlight my bottom lip. The liquid eyeliner again. And just starting from the outer corner of the lip, just bringing it out. And then I'm going to just go on to where my bottom lip is, and just draw. I'm not sure why I did that the first time, but I just did it, so I felt like I should do it again. Bottom lip. And then flick it outwards. So it's like 1 and 2 going out this way. So this is like the most tedious part. It's probably a little bit, it's pretty difficult, I think. It's the facial hair part. But I think it kind of pulls it all together. I start off going with just like the fine lines of the hairs first, and then I fill in the gaps with like a shadow of the mustache. I already kind of have stubble growing in already, so it kind of helps. I'm trying to go as like small as possible at first, just because I want it to look more like, again, stubble, not so much like a full-on mustache at first. Like not so much striking or stroking, it's more like laying the tip of the pen against my face so that leaves a long dot. I got my bottom lip where my soul patch would be, I guess. So like the way facial hair grows is different on everybody, but I just find that when I do grow facial hair, it grows in like random patches. Keep it in that way so it looks a little bit more naturally formed. Like I concentrate it underneath my lip, my mustache, and like what the crevice of my chin would be. It wouldn't really pass my cheek contour. So it would go down all the way down to my chin, just in an outline. It'd be most dense down here, and then fade it up. Unless you wanted a clean cut, like just shave, but sometimes, you know, if you left it going without shaving, it would leave kind of fades, kind of that scruffed look. Okay, so going in just a little bit and just taking some dark shadows of like the tone of hair I would have, and just kind of dabbing it and then focusing it on the edges where I want to be the most full. Luckily, again, facial hair grows in different patterns for everybody, so it's not like you have to make it look a certain way. And the strokes just kind of add to the whole cartoony, like comic look anyway. So it's like partly realism, partly not. Some other like glitter, and I like using like a kind of rainbow glitter because depending on what color you put it over, it'll just kind of look the same and bring out complementary or contrasting colors. But again, the fact that this one's kind of a messy look, you can just kind of put it all over. Another part to this look, this specific look, is the hair color. So I found a way just to do it like temporary. I wouldn't go out like this. And if you had color hairspray, you can do this too. Like you can actually see I had my hair colored. I had my hair red and blue for a good while and it faded before quarantine and shelter in place and stuff. So I'm just taking Clown White, my makeup I use for my highlight, and just kind of going over and giving myself some like frosted tips. Grazing the hair so it doesn't just get clumped, it just coats the top of the hair. And another brush just to get the same eyeshadow colors, press it into the hair. I forgot what I used last time, but it worked pretty well. Also my hair is really short, so it was just like nubs. So there's the red, pink, and then we'll do the blue. And that kind of gives you like a temporary hair dye look. For like photo purposes, I wouldn't really go out like this because if you sweat, it'd probably just fall out. But you can probably hairspray it in, like got to be it, and it kind of gives the kind of look. This is giving me something. Have you seen Spider-Man 1? Mm-hmm. Remember the guy who shot Uncle Ben?
Yeah.
He patched everything, make it look gross. I guess if you wanted to, you can actually just like put some white hairs on here too to make it look like the makeup is caught onto the beard, which I don't see why not. I can try that too. Which just looks like I have salt and pepper hair. So basically all I'm missing now is contacts and the body paint, which is the hardest part. But I almost forgot to do the little diamonds. I have a thing for putting things under my eyes, I'm not sure why. Either it's tears or streaks or whatever. So when I did this the first time, I was like, I want to put a diamond under my eye, because why not? Not particularly neat or anything, just kind of. So I just made a cross with a lowercase t, and then kind of fill in the gaps. Okay, this is the part. It's the hard part. It's like the body contouring, which is, I think, from like drag kings, is probably like one of the most challenging things. And I don't really like showing off my boy chest. For the sake of education in this video, I try just to rush up things a little bit more and just use this airbrush leg Spicy Hansen. I use this to like do my shoulders and arms when I'm like wearing like low cut stuff. I don't waste my foundation. It's really yellow though, so it's kind of, you're supposed to put it on your hand and rub it in, but ooh, that's tan. You're done. I'm just kidding. I think I used my my foundation thing for like color. I guess I'll just use my fingers because it's gonna dry. So I would never go out like this or wear this on my face or etc. etc. I'm gonna put most of the attention up here. So it's very orange right now. So it's handy to have. I always look up like muscles or like anatomy pictures, and I try to find one that looks kind of like doable, like I wouldn't look like a bodybuilder. And then you just kind of figure out where in your body the anatomy would lie. So when I present feminine for drag, I contour my collarbone and make my neck look really thin and make that all dark. But for like a muscular male chest, you have to have like your pecs go all the way up to your collarbone. So to have like a picture of reference next to you is really, really helpful. I find highlights, since I already have so much of yellow on me. So I'm gonna go in. So highlight where my collarbone is. Neck. Oh, I forgot to highlight my Adam's apple. Even this part back here behind your shoulders is pretty high up if you're muscular anyway. It goes in a dip because this is where like the pecs start. And a little bit here outside your neck area kind of dips to where like your armpit would be. Again, I'm just guessing because I've never been muscular in my life, but. So I even kind of redraw my nipples because if you're muscular, your nipples are gonna be a little bit more like further away. This always feels weird putting makeup on my nipple. And then I'm gonna go in with like a contour color. Okay, so this contour shade's tan also. So I'm just gonna mix it with like some cooler tone. I'm gonna start the contouring part. It's daunting. So above my collarbone. whatever this part of my neck is called. I usually have two mirrors. I usually have one mirror close and one far away so I can see myself like arm's length, arm distance. And it's just basically going back and forth of figuring out what you want it to look like. Trying to go as fast as I can just for the video's purpose. This part's tricky because it's not like it's a really deep crevice for the man cleavage. Like depending on how far out or how pronounced people have their muscles, it's always different, so it's kind of hard to like figure out where they should be. But it's basically like being like just drawing big square boobs. It's even harder, I can imagine, if you're doing it for like club or performance where you have to make it dark and not make it look. I'm gonna try just to do stark and then see if I can fade out and see how it looks. Because when I did it last time, it looked kind of muddy, and it wasn't my favorite. If you realize that like the more square you make the pec area, the less it'll look like a boob. So even though it feels like you should follow the curve of your body, it's like, nope. Just make it look like Hercules or something. My natural body fat will make it everything just round out anyway, so it looks like it's rounded. So I had to draw it on more square than I would usually do it. There's like a weird gap underneath the pecs, and so there's the first dip. It's like an upside down bird. Abs are pretty square. Like even in reality, they're pretty square. I measure it out, like where my belly button is, that's like right where the second ab. And so you don't have gap. Like you want to have a proportionate gap in between the first ab, the second ab, and then the bottom one will be where your belly button is, but it's a little long for the second one, so let's just do it like there. There's that one. And then this one is more like an upward shape. V or bird, whatever you want to call it. So, and there's some like muscles over here somewhere else that you don't really see because I don't wear jackets. The dimensions of everything are really weird when it comes to muscles and stuff. So I'm just used to drawing boobs, and boobs are just usually all the same direction. That'll go there. And then that would go there.
That you aren't gonna show your belly button.
I know, I don't want to. I'm gonna get into that. I have to do it just for proportion. Fading out some of the edges I want. I decided to go with like the harsh highlight, harsh contour look. I feel like it kind of goes with the look anyway. So I'm just gonna go with that. There's some more glitter. And I'm gonna go change the light here. I want to add a little bit more whiteness so it's more matching with the face. Just kind of everywhere, kind of sporadically. There. And I got my jacket on. And in my video I used this bat that me and Shaun painted together for Suicide Squad Harley way back when that came out. And I used it for, well, I used it for a handful of performances, but it's just a plastic bat and it's all. I think, did we use a stencil for this part?
Yes we did.
But then we still had to paint it in and like do everything
Yeah.
by hand. I painted all this other stuff in hand, so I'm glad I kept it. I'm so proud of it that we worked on it. I want to like hang it up. So yeah, that's my male Harley Quinn Drag King Bento Box makeup video. I'm Katana Ray, but right now I am Bento Box, my Drag King persona, as Harley Quinn. So it's like an inception of drag going on. Pretty, in my mind, it was easy to do, but after a while I was like, this is pretty tedious. So I'm glad I got this out of the way first. And if that's something you are interested in, hopefully I can help. I'm not like an expert on body contouring or anything. I've only done like 3 times. It's really hard, so just practice And hopefully you guys liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all that stuff. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the near future with new videos. I'll see you guys soon. Bye! Is it recording?
Yep. I'm just gonna... It's recording.
Okay. It's still recording, right?
Yeah, it's still going. I'm just gonna let it keep going.
Yeah, I forgot how to end the video.